I'll just say my piece about slap heard around the world. Um, like everybody else, I was a little surprised, shocked, not necessarily wondering if it was real or fake, just because people alluded to the fact that Will Smith was smiling before he did it. I hear some people saying, Chris Rock, wasn't that bad of a joke, vice versa. It's definitely, I mean, given the fact that the Oscars up until this year, the last couple of years, and with the pandemic, viewership has been down. The buzz around it hasn't really been as big. However, the slap kind of, really got people talking about it because the Oscars ended 2 days ago. The slap, if anything, overshadowed what happened on the Oscars. And of course, now you have celebrities from all angles, friends and associates of both Chris Rock and Will Smith, talk about the example that wasn't set or the bad example that was set. And unfortunately, it's a very interesting situation to look about it. I found it pretty unusual in a lot of ways because, one, I understand Will Smith feels like it was defending his woman's honor, that she felt insulted in terms of Jada Pinkett's reaction. However, given the fact that, they're swingers, and typically most swingers are more laid back, minded, not really sensitive or thick skinned. So to watch Will Smith say, "Hey, keep my wife's name out of your mouth," which is one way of saying it, but another thing, like, he doesn't really care if guys are hitting on her and vice versa. So I found that pretty interesting from that viewpoint and scene. Chris Rock, though, he definitely held it together, held his composure. Guy's a straight up professional. Fortunately, I don't have any mad beef. I love both these guys, both these actors. Both guys I respect. Grew up admiring, watching, and be somebody that works in the film industry. I sort of look up to them as both as my mentors. Probably more so Chris Rock because now he's part of the Saw franchise. I'm trying to do the same thing with my Beach Chain franchise. Hey, Alicia, are you back with us?
Yes, I'm back. Can you see me?
No, you're still black screen, but it's good to hear you though, at the very least.
Well, I'm definitely here. I'm not sure why you can't see me, but at least you can hear me. So, my thoughts on this entire situation, I don't know. I feel a little iffy about it because to me, it felt like it was staged. It was just a little awkward. And I felt like when Will walked up to Chris seems to be a little ready for that slap. And I just thought it was the strangest thing ever that Chris he was able to lean back. I know Will hit him and he, was, I don't know. It was a reaction, but I just feel like Chris and Will, maybe behind the scenes, they thought, hey, let's stir up a little controversy since Will and Jada had not been on the Oscars the previous years. So it kind of seemed a little staged. And to me, just about everything in Hollywood is fake. So I don't know if I believe this situation. At first, I thought, wow. But after really watching it, I'm not so sure. The only thing that may partially convince me is the reaction of Lupita Nyong'o. The look on her face was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life because she had that ooh kind of look on her face, and I thought, oh my God, maybe this is real. I don't know, but I'm hoping it wasn't real. But if it was, hey, Will apologized and things happen, and men have their whole ego thing. I can't wait to hear.
He can't win.
I can't wait to hear from
that Will Smith
Chris Rock about the whole thing.
Please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
I mean, Jada looks a little aggravated about it, though.
That was a nice one. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm out here.
I think maybe that's
Richard.
why Will reacted. And
oh, wow.
Wow.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Wow.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey, Sharon. Thank you for joining us. I don't know if you heard my piece when they're logging in, but I was going to say that I don't know if the Oscars would be too mad about the situation just because the last couple of years, even the pandemic year, viewership was down like a lot. And 2 days later, this is what we're talking about. Obviously, everybody has a different opinion, different view about it, from Morgan Freeman to Jim Carrey to sports athletes to even my own karate instructor. I mean, it's hard for me to think that Will Smith would, normally people are in an open marriage, not that to bring this into this, they're normally laid back, don't let things bother them. And I think the second time when Will said, "Hey, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth," I think that was true and serious, though.
I don't think he should have said anything. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
I can hear. We can hear
You
you.
can hear me now?
Oh yes, and welcome.
Oh, okay. Maybe because I went out and came back in. I think that was I mean, you have the Academy Awards. This is a big event. And for him to go off like that, I don't think that was really very good. I think he should have waited until afterwards and then told him about that. But I mean, this is presented to people, 5-6 million people. I mean, not 5, 6, but millions of people looking at this. That's a Oscar. That's a big night, and for him to go off like that, that's not really good.
I mean, no, I totally agree with that. But at the same time, 2 days later after the Academy Awards, Oscars, or whatever you want to say, we're still talking about it when the last previous years, the nights that the Oscars happened, most people didn't even know it was happening. So I think in some ways, I think this is going to, it's obviously, I'm not going to condemn violence. Nobody's encouraging that. But given the amount of buzz that this is getting, I'm sure the Academy is kind of happy about that, at the very least, in terms of talk amongst people. And it's still kind of relevant even after a couple of days.
Yeah. But still, I mean, he should have. He it seems like he just has a very he's just very hot-tempered, hot-tempered person. I mean, he said something about his wife, of course, you hot-tempered, but sometimes you have to maintain your cool as, at certain points.
You're right about that because for successful as Will Smith has been for as long as he's been around, clearly you kind of have to have patience. I don't want to say know how to play the game, but to get to where he is, you sort of have to be upstanding gentleman, given the amount of respect he's gained over his career as well. Because he's kind of in the same category. A lot of times people put him in the same category as Leonardo DiCaprio in terms of acting or being an actor. But I don't think Will Smith is nearly as good as an actor as Leonardo DiCaprio. But, and that's probably a lazy indirect comparison, but they're both two guys that started off on these 90s hit TV shows where they played the rogue family, not the rogue family member, but the black sheep of the family, like with Will Smith and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air being different from his adopted family going into that show, with Leonardo DiCaprio being on Growing Pains, being like the runaway kid that needed a person. But that's not here or there, but it's just a matter of, it is a little surprising that would be the one thing that would set him off, because I'm not going to say it wasn't that bad of a joke or that awful, but in terms of Chris Rock heckling people, he could have easily done a lot worse if you ever hear Chris Rock stand up in general. And I don't think he was doing that. He might have embarrassed her a little bit, of course, but I don't think he was really doing that to garnish that type of reaction. I think he just did it to get a cheap throwaway laugh because, he's a comedian. He heckles people all the time.
Well, you know what I've heard? I've heard that since that incident, Chris Rock, his ticket sales have skyrocketed. So again, you know what? When it comes to controversy,
I've seen that. Yeah. They say he's going to the bank. He's going to because Rock is going to the bank. So it did a lot for him. Yeah,
absolutely. I agree. And so you know what? I look at it like this: publicity is publicity. And Madonna said it best. She said, "There's no such thing as good publicity or bad publicity. There's publicity and none at all." So there you go. The Oscars are a hit now. And I've heard that, many other things happened during the Oscars, like Samuel L. Jackson, he won an Oscar, and many other people won as well. And hey, it made a great show. Everyone's going to be ready to tune in next year. Maybe Mike Tyson will be the next presenter or the next host of the show. You never know.
Yeah,
So you
I would
guys, I'm
tune in
gonna
for that.
absolutely. I'm gonna move
Oh,
on to
he's
the
going
next. Oh, go
Mike
ahead.
Tyson. Oh, they looking for a knockout?
Absolutely. Hey, you
You
never
think they're
know.
looking for a knockout? He's gonna be there.
Absolutely. Well, if he does, I'm going to definitely be watching. Now, I'm going to move on to the next news story, you guys. So, the next news story that I saw, I actually wanted to bring this up last week. Lizzo has a new show coming out called Watch Out for the Big Girls, where she's looking for some big girls that are good dancers. And I'm excited because I believe it's going to be on Amazon, or I think it's Amazon. But anyway, I'm excited because I love Lizzo. I like the fact that she is proud to be who she is. She's a big girl, she can dance, and I know plenty of big girls that can dance. And I've always wondered, why don't we have girls that are big that can dance? Because hello, there's a lot of big girls that can dance. I have little cousins that are big girls that can move it. So I'm excited about this show. I haven't seen it. I have seen the clip, but it's called Watch Out for the Big Girls. And the thing is, there's a song called Watch Out for the Big Girls. I don't know if you've ever heard this song, but I love this song. So anyway, from what I've seen in the clip, these girls can move it, drop it in a split. I can't even do a split. And I'm excited. Have you guys heard about this show?
No.
I haven't. I mean, mainly because I'm a big Lizzo fan, and haven't heard from anything from her in a while. So, and like you said, dancers come in all shapes and sizes. And I've had met some. Well, going through my casting process, I met a lot of girls that are on the thick plus upside that are more flexible than girls that have the petite or thin athletic look. So it's definitely. I think it's gonna, for viewers to watch it, I think it's going to give them a different perspective of dance is not just what you see from a Laker girl.
Absolutely. And I mean, I honestly feel like the process of dancers, it should be open to anyone that can actually do the skill, because you could be the skinniest little toothpick on the block and you can't do a split. You can't do anything. Like I'm that girl. I grew up with the dancer's body. I don't have it now, but I have the smaller body that they're usually looking for. But I can't dance, and I definitely can't split or do a backflip or any of that without breaking my neck. So I say kudos to these girls that are gonna, be on this show, and I can't wait to see who she chooses. As a matter of fact, I might tune in tonight because I gotta see this. Some of that I've seen, I was wowed. I was like, wow, they look amazing. They can dance, and Lizzo can move it. So she definitely is gonna have to choose some girls that can keep up with her, because she's good, and she can play the flute. Oh my God. And she's gorgeous. Hello. I can't wait to see the show. I'm excited. And I believe it's going to be on Amazon Prime from what I can remember seeing. So make sure you guys check out the clip definitely about that show. Watch out for the big girls. You know what? I forgot to mention something too. We were just talking about the Oscars. I forgot to say congratulations to the first Afro-Latina. She's the first queer Afro-Latina that won an Oscar. Her name is Ariana DeBose, and she won an Oscar as well. She was in West Side Story, so I'm really excited about that. I'd never seen her before. I never saw her, her version of the West Side Story, but apparently it was a really exciting thing, and I was like, wow, like they were making history while Will was slapping people, definitely. And so I would definitely like to say congratulations to her. So I'm going to move. Oh, go ahead, Cam.
Oh no, I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to say that's awesome. Congratulations. It is kind of sad though. I don't really want to get back to the Will Smith thing, but it did overshadow that accomplishment, because just a few years ago during the Oscars, there was one year where there was like no black actors or any films at all nominated for anything. And then it was almost a boycott call for that. I remember Stacey Dash got a little critical and defensive about it and saying, well, then you just get rid of BET awards and things like that. But it's unfortunate that Will Smith's kind of overshadowed that. But hey, this is where we are in today's society.
Absolutely. And nobody cares about Stacey Dash, because you know what? She came forward and said that she has been a drug addict for several years. So all the things that she said weren't valid, and she apologized for. Right, Stacey. Right.
Yeah, I think when you get canceled out, you don't make all the money as much as you used to from her coolest days. I think, yeah, I think she just wants to go back to work. That's what it sounds like to me.
I think so too, but she has a lot more kissing up to do because Stacy, I think she burned all the bridges and blew them up. So Stacy, good luck with that girl. So you know what I wanted to talk about. We were talking earlier, I guess when we were live, and we didn't know we were live. We were talking about this ride accident that happened, the free fall ride accident that happened with the 14-year-old kid. He apparently got on this ride. He was overweight for the ride, but the thing is, of course, he didn't know, and no one informed him that he was over the weight limit. And he fell from this huge free fall tower. As a matter of fact, I was telling you earlier, Cam, that this free fall tower is about 5 minutes from my house. I see it almost every single day as I'm driving. And I've actually walked under this free fall tower, and I've looked up and said to myself and to the person that was with me that I felt that it was dangerous just by looking at it. The height of this thing and the speed of it, I heard it goes 75 miles an hour. But this kid, he fell, and he definitely had to hit concrete because it's 100% concrete. There's nothing there to break your fall, etc. And he passed away. Now, I remember you brought it up a little bit earlier that Dollywood, Dolly Parton's theme park, also has the same exact ride. They immediately shut that ride down. And apparently the maker of this ride is from, I believe, I want to say either China or Korea. I'm going to say Korea, I believe. But I don't know how to feel about this whole situation. What do you guys think about this?
I mean, I just heard. Can you hear me? Because I took
Yes,
my
I
Yeah, we
can.
can
microphone.
hear you, Sharon.
Okay. I believe that. Well, I just heard about that, but I just heard. I just seen it. I don't know too much about it except he fell from a long distance, and to hit concrete like that. I mean, they have rides like that. They should have some padding around there, just in case, because there have been instances of people that have fell out of rides before. So they should have had some sort of padding where the concrete is, um, in case something like that happened. But it has happened before, they said he was not. I think I seen something where they said he was not strapped in like he was supposed to be.
Um, yeah, no. Either way, it's unfortunate because if there was padding, he might have still would have died though, just because I think he was 400 feet up when he fell, and
Yes,
not to
absolutely.
mention he's also a child prodigy in terms of his football abilities because he was 14. I think he weighed 312 pounds, 326 pounds. That's that's pretty much the size or bigger than most NFL nose tackles now. And clearly, he was looked at as an upper rising star, and there are probably coaches already scouting him out for his metric size and age group for where he was and where he's expected to grow. And also, too, given the fact that he weighs that much and falling that high, it was probably loud. It was probably like, I don't want to say you could hear it for miles, but a regular person falling like 5 stories you could hear from a good distance, let alone somebody that's that big and that size. But according to his father, or supposedly he said to his friends, I'm scared, I'm nervous. And I also, like Sharon said, I also heard too about possibly the seatbelt, because supposedly some people were saying that it was still locked in after he died, after he fell. Obviously I don't know that, but nonetheless, it's still unfortunate. And I understand why Dollywood would do Dollywood would do the same thing, just because, given the amount of media attention that this has garnished over the weekend, and it's the same type of ride, same type of distance. And it's pretty high up because I think it was like 400 feet. So, and if it's going 70 miles per hour, he was probably falling faster than that when he was going to his death, which is unfortunate. And my heart goes out to his family and his mother and his loved ones, because he seemed like he was a well-loved and appreciated kid and on his way to being a football star. And at his age, he was probably better than most of the – he was probably ready to play college football now with his size and speed.
Absolutely. And I mean, I've definitely seen this ride many, many times. And the other thing is, definitely it was about 400 plus, I think it's like 450 feet in the air. So it's a huge tower. So you can see it all over Orlando. It's 100% concrete. And, now that I think about it, padding wouldn't have helped. Not going at that speed and the height that ride is, no matter what would have been there, it wouldn't have stopped it. But see, they should think of safety measures like that. What if this thing falls, etc.? I mean, even with Cirque du Soleil, they have a net, they have some type of safety precaution. And that particular ride, from what I've seen from the news here, and I've actually seen the ride as, you know, standing there watching people get on the ride, it looks like it has a harness that actually pulls over your head. It looks like a T-type strap that either clicks either between your legs or on the sides of you. And they said that when they checked it, that it was still in place. But they said due to his size, and you know, maybe that's how he slid out. I don't know. But it was definitely something wrong. And we have a lot of rides like that here in Orlando. We have a lot of free fall rides, slingshot rides. We have a number of rides here, and we've never, as far as I know, had an accident that has happened like this. So they definitely, and what I saw from the news here, they said that they only check the rides here, I believe it's twice a year. They check the rides like those. When it comes to Disney, it's once a year that the inspector comes, and then, well, the theme parks altogether, once a year the inspector comes, but they expect the workers to check these rides, which honestly, I wouldn't encourage anyone to get on these rides, because you have very young people that are running these rides. And, you know, young people at times, they're not paying attention to safety. A lot of times they're having a good time, they're working, and they're not thinking, hey, you know, anything can happen. Because young people think they're going to live forever, we're going to live forever. But that's not the case. But I definitely feel for that family.
I agree with you on that, Alicia, because when you're saying young people, like working at a ride, like obviously I have amusement parks up here in Massachusetts, not like you do in Florida with Busch Gardens, Orlando, Disney World, but it is a broad range of a kid working a ride being anywhere from age 14 to early 30s, give or take, depending on the summer or time of year, or if it's a college student. And yeah, that's where like human error comes into play, because, you know, a 25-year-old kid might be like, hey, there's a weight limit on here, where a 15-year-old kid coming in covering someone's shift, you know, he's just going to let everybody on the ride. And it's not really common to see someone that weighs 320 pounds or 300. It's not common to see a 14-year-old period that weighs over 200 pounds, let alone being 320 something pounds. So it does get a little bit tricky, because that's kind of a subjective thing that, you know, one cashier or one game overseer might say, no, you weigh too much. And then the person in the next ride over might not even care, because, you know, they just care about getting paid and being there.
Well, the thing that's also really scary about this ride, and again, because I've actually been to the ride, is that there are people walking up under that area. So it could have been someone walking by and he happened to fly out of the air and fall on top of them and kill them as well. So that's the kind of scary part, because that's a whole, like a pedestrian type area where there's restaurants, there's all types of, you know, there's full family, everything out there. So it could have been someone, a mother with her baby stroller. Anything could have happened on top of that. Now, that area, as far as I can remember, it wasn't really roped off, but still, someone could have been walking in that area and also got hit by him, you know, the guy's body flying. So, I mean, it's, I don't know what's going to happen. Absolutely. And I haven't seen the ride move, of course, since the incident. I mean, I just drove by it just yesterday, and I didn't see it moving, of course, because there's inspectors all over the place trying to figure it out. They need to just shut the ride down for good, because once someone loses their life, someone else just lost their life, not on that particular ride. I believe I don't know whether it was that ride or another, but one of the employees just a few months back lost his life. And I have a sneaky suspicion it was the same ride. He was climbing up the side of the tower, and I remember he fell. But that wasn't really, it was reported, but it wasn't worldwide, because they said it was an accident. It was an employee climbing up, and apparently he was doing something he wasn't supposed to do. So actually another person, I believe, lost their life to that particular ride, or one of them that's right nearby. And that area is called Icon Park. And Icon Park is just, like I said, it's a family-friendly area, restaurants and you know, different things, museums, etc. So I'm going to move on to the next story. I don't know if you guys have heard of... Oh, go ahead.
I don't know how... I never seen the ride. I don't know how high it was. That's why I said maybe they should have had some. They should have something around that area, you know.
Yeah, but that high up though, it wouldn't have mattered, because if he's falling 400 feet in the sky and he weighs that much, even if he landed on a padding, he still would have died. Like Absolutely. It was really like once you get over like 60 feet, it's kind of hard. Like on average, like you might be able to survive a 60-foot fall if you're a person, depending on the angle you land. But anything over 60 feet, you're as good as dead. And I hate to say it like that because I mean I've climbed mountains and everything, and given the fact that he was 400 feet up, falling like that when he weighed that much, the impact, like there's nothing that he would have had to like. You're talking at this point. It would have been fictional for to save him. Unfortunately, it's sad, and my heart goes out to the family, and it's unfortunate. But like I said, padding.
No, I didn't know it was that high.
Oh yeah.
Don't watch those amusements like I used to. So I don't go to them.
Oh no, you're good. But once you get over 60 feet, once you get over like a 60-foot fall, your odds of survive. You can die from falling like 10 feet in the air, give or take. But I don't think anybody's ever really survived more than a 60-foot fall. I mean, unless it's like methodical or anything. But on average, like I do a lot of mountain climbing, and at least 3 times a year I hear about somebody surviving this fall or that fall. But I've never heard of anything over 60 feet. Just
and the speed. Remember that ride? It goes 75 miles an hour. So 75 miles an hour plus the height. Automatic liquidation. I don't even know why they make rides like that. I have no idea why they would make a ride like that. But I was going to move on to the next topic. So, you know what? Have you seen this scandal with Penny Hardaway? Apparently, it was Penny Hardaway and Mike Miller. I don't even know who Mike Miller is. I'm not a big
Your cousin does.
I know. But apparently there's a scandal going on. Cam, have you heard about this scandal with Penny Hardaway?
Oh, yes. One, I'm a huge fan of Penny Hardaway. I'm sure you were too, because he played for the Orlando Magic back in the day, and he would have been, unfortunately, LeBron James before he got injured, knock on wood. But yeah, the scandal involves, so Mike Miller was the assistant coach, and he was also a former NBA player and Division I college great basketball player. And Mike Miller was the recruiting coordinator. And I guess even though Mike Miller was named in this scandal, he's not being punished or it's not identified as anything wrongdoing. I guess where it starts off as a fact is when Mike Miller left Memphis University to pursue another job or whatever, I guess like the NCAA or something requested the data from his laptop or computer, which Memphis didn't authorize, if I'm correct on that. And then as well as in the scandal, supposedly Penny Hardaway gave Joseph Wiseman, who was a big-time recruit who now plays for Golden State Warriors, I guess his family his money to play, which by NCAA laws is kind of illegal. Not illegal, but against NCAA bylaws. And they also named other recruiting violations about Penny Hardaway and saying this is the worst. It's very unfortunate because Penny Hardaway, that's his alma mater. He was turning that school around, and they actually just came out of a big scandal umbrella from John Calipari, who's now at Kentucky. But at the same time, too, with the movement of college athletes now getting paid in their new NFI deals, in some ways, the scandal is like it's still going to be big news, but at the same time, I don't think it's as big as it would have been 10 years ago, 5 years ago. It is just more unfortunate because Penny Hardaway is getting a lot of blue chipper recruits to come to his school. And there's also other level 1 malfeasance or practice that was involved in this scandal, which, I mean, it's unfortunate. And I think it is kind of pointless, but at the same time, they got to pretend that they care. And the NCAA has always been tone deaf and behind on doing things like this. But yeah, no, Penny Hardaway might be in a little bit of trouble. I really think, like I said, I think it's pointless, but he's been really doing good things and turning that program around at Memphis.
Well, I mean, I definitely knew of Penny Hardaway when he was in Orlando. I actually have hung out at his house a few times, but that's neither here nor there. No, it wasn't with Penny though. I mean, it was in his house, but you know how it is when someone's famous, their relatives invite you over. My cousin is Penny, that kind of thing. Never did I even get a chance to hang out with Penny or anything like that. But I was always somewhere in that vicinity. I've always been a bunch of ball players. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I recall him being a good player, a big name, etc. And I remember Little Penny, the little doll. That was so cool. The
Tyra Banks commercial.
Yes. Tyra Banks, really?
Yeah, he did a commercial with Tyra Banks where little Penny was like, "Oh, that's Tyra Banks," where little Penny was trying to get Penny Hardaway to ask her out and everything else.
Oh wow, I don't remember that commercial, but yeah, I mean, I loved Penny Hardaway. I just liked his name. I thought it was really cool, even though I heard that's not really his name. That's his nickname. His grandma gave him. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Scandals, all kinds of shenanigans going on in the world of basketball, entertainment in general. But you know what? Hopefully, he won't get into too much trouble. I do hear that he's a good coach and he keeps his job, but if not, there's a lot of WNBA players that could use a job. Ex WNBA players, I should say, that could use a job. So Penny, you need to get it together. I am going to tell you this. Here, on to the next news story, right? So Anthony Anderson, the actor, him and his wife filed for divorce a second time. What is really going on?
Blackish is ending. That's so it's the final season. Maybe it's just well, being a fan of Anthony Anderson, even from like his teen show Hang Time, unfortunately, I mean, it's weird. They're high school sweethearts. They've been together since he was in high school, married in like late 90s. And they obviously separated for a while because I think she filed for divorce back in 2015. They reconcile all their differences and try to work things out. But I guess they're at a point in their life where, unfortunately, they probably broke away for whatever reason. And it is unfortunate because you always root for the high school couples to stay together. But maybe being the pandemic, them being around each other more often, a lot of his filming got delayed for his other projects. So maybe they're just around each other too much and got sick of each other. I don't know. How do you feel about this, Sharon?
Oh, well, I have heard stories of, when two people, when they working hard and they and the wife don't see them and they just they just committed to their careers and it just causes a lot of maybe some problems in life, some problem. I don't know what's going on in their private life, but I have heard of things like that where they just have a distance. They don't see each other like they should. He's working hard. He has that show. He has the other show, and he's doing other things, and and it can cause conflict sometimes. I don't, and what's going on in their personal life. There's maybe other factors that's involved too. So.
Yeah, no, and you're absolutely right because Blackish has been a very popular show and one of ABC's flagship shows for the last 10 years ish or so, up there at Modern Family and the Goldbergs. And he also does a lot of other stuff where I think last year, was he the one hosting the Oscars or was it 2 years ago? No, it was more than 2 years, but he hosts a lot of award shows. He hosts a lot of Food Network shows as well. And before that, he was doing a lot of movies. So, maybe just working too hard and not spending enough time with the wife, sometimes that will kill a marriage too. So, yeah.
Some women are very understanding, but there may be other factors in there too that we just don't know about. They have not said didn't say anything about. They're not going to put everything out there.
That's true. One of my best friends tells me from when his grandma said, sometimes you don't want to try to understand other people's love because what works in their relationship might not work in somebody else's relationship.
Yeah.
Hey, Alicia,
Absolutely.
you still there?
Well, you know what, you guys, I think that there could have been yes, I'm still here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, no, we just can't see you, so I just wanted to make sure. No, I can definitely hear you. I just couldn't,
You couldn't see me. Can you see me also?
No. We can't see you at the moment, but you're doing good. You're doing.
Well, I'll say this, that, possibly in their relationship, sometimes out of sight, out of mind. And see, if she filed for divorce from Anthony Anderson previously, there had to be some cheating going on there. So, you know what? She filed for divorce. That means he was up to no good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But I said I don't want to throw that in there.
Hey, I don't know. Steph Curry's mom filed for divorce, and turns out she was the one cheating. So
he's a successful man, and he's away a lot. And I have heard of stories where sometimes the man is away too much, and the woman she finds somebody else on the side, and who knows? I'm not gonna say that is their case, but that could be the fact that could happen there too. She with somebody else, from time to time, and he is too. So yeah, that could be a factor in there. But I didn't want to bring that into the equation.
no, it's all good. It's all good. But hey, nonetheless, though, these things happen. But yeah, no. Do you watch Blackish though?
Which one?
Do you watch Blackish, the show?
No, I don't. Not that much.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Maybe once in a while, but not that much.
Oh, all right. Well, it looks like we lost Alicia, but I think another segment she had was let's see. Just want to pick up her subject she picked up on. So I don't know. Do you ever hear the band Foo Fighters?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Have you ever heard of the band Foo Fighters?
Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters. Yes.
No.
Oh, okay. No, it's fine. But they're like a legendary big time band from the 90s, even up until now. They had some pretty good hits. So yeah, their drummer died at age 50. Right before the night of, actually, they're about to perform a show down in Columbia and Bogarts at one of their amazing festivals, which is cause of his death is still unknown. But unfortunately, yeah, he died the night of, they're about to perform, and the day after they announced that they're going to perform in the Grammys. So that's a very unfortunate situation, though.
Oh, I think he was about 50 years old.
Yes.
Yeah. I seen that story. They said it probably was. They said he was involved in drugs and stuff like that. And, it could have been some sort of like ritual killing or something. That's what I don't know.
Hey, maybe, hopefully it wasn't. Because I personally didn't hear that, but hopefully it wasn't. But hey, you never know. Weird things happen, but it's unfortunate though, nonetheless. I know another show that another topic she wanted to cover is on Love and Hip Hop star April Watts. She was recently hospitalized because of a car accident that she went in this week. She was driving her Mercedes-Benz, got hit by a Ford F-150. Her representatives and her family members are saying that her arm is shattered, her skull is fractured, and her spine might be broken. So it looks like it's a pretty bad wreck. Unfortunately, cause of the accident are still unknown. She's recovering in the hospital, and hopefully we wish her all well. Do you ever watch Love and Hip Hop?
Love and Hip Hop, no.
Oh, okay. Well, it's all no, it's all good. I've only seen a couple episodes, and then I'm not really too. I keep my ear to the ground on that, but yeah. No, I'm just finishing up the rest of the other topics we had on here because we had a little bit of death as well because unfortunately, country singer Hank Williams Jr., his wife died. Unfortunately, in their hotel, and cause of the deaths are still unknown, just like April West one. So we had a little bit of death as well. Unfortunately, country singer Hank Williams Jr., his wife died. Oh, hearing my own echo. Well, and cause of the deaths are still unknown, just like April West one. So we had a little bit of death. How's it going? Unfortunately. Country singer. Hey Tia, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm not too bad. Alicia, I see you're back with us too, right?
Yes, I'm here. Can you see me?
I still can't see you, but I'm definitely glad you're back.
I'm back, definitely.
Good, how are you?
I'm not too bad.
Talking about the young man that died. What was his name? 50 years old. I got an article that called Vigilante Citizens, I think. I got to look at Yeah.
I was talking about Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah.
He was the drummer that unfortunately passed recently. Was that
Yeah.
the one you're referring to, the band Foo Fighters?
Yeah. This was in a newsletter that I received. It goes into more like the unknown, and they said, is like a ritual, something, it goes into things like that. I didn't really read it fully, but I do get that newsletter, and sometimes, I mean, they have some things in there that's really unbelievable.
Yeah,
So I think the
absolutely.
name of it,
Oh, go ahead.
What you
No,
said?
I was going to say I heard the same thing about the drugs as well, that they found several in his system. So, we really don't know for sure. And I believe he was in the Philippines when this happened.
Oh,
So,
I think it
I
was in
mean, it
Colombia.
could have happened. He's in another country. Oh, he was in Colombia?
Yeah, because they were about to perform a show in Bogota, which is it's the capital of Colombia. It was Bogota. They were about to
Oh,
perform a
Bogota.
festival or some type of show. Bogota, yeah. They're about to
Bogota.
perform a show there. I heard both translations before. I heard Bogota. I've only been to Medellin actually, which is a beautiful city, but I surprisingly never been to Bogota or however you pronounce it, just because it's weird. It's the capital, but nonetheless, there are people there doing a tribute to him as well. I know other celebrities reached out with support. Miley Cyrus plans on doing a show with them, not with them, but honoring them this weekend as well, honoring him. And it's been fortunate because Foo Fighters is a very iconic band.
It's funny because I remember their name, but I couldn't tell you any of their songs whatsoever. And they probably had a lot of popular songs, and I didn't realize it was them. But I mean, it's sad that this guy, did pass away. But you know what? Drugs kill, and I don't know. I mean, a lot of they definitely did the old drug thing, and a lot of these young rappers now are all into the drugs, and they all need to realize that drugs is going to take you out of here one way or another. So, got to leave those things alone. I have a question. Have you guys heard about this story about Trey Songz? Apparently, the Insecure actor, his name is Sarunas Jackson. He accuses Trey Songz of beating women or trying to beat up on women. Now, Trey Songz is he has been all over the news about assaulting women, like sexually assaulting women. Now we're hearing that he likes to beat on women as well. So, I'm wondering how and why this man is still walking out in these streets because Trey Songz, apparently you are a toxic individual. And I know that there was I'm not sure who this lady was, but she posted online, Trey Songz is a rapist. I mean, those were her words, not mine. But she just kind of put it out there and she said, okay, that's all I needed to say. So I don't know. Have you heard this story about Trey Songz?
I have, and unfortunately, he's actually performing up near me this weekend or this Saturday. One of my friends she asked if I wanted to see him. I said, sure. I mean, I like his music, but at the same time, he has been turning into a bit of a pariah in terms of the industry because you see it a lot of famous people, guys or girls, are always going to have somebody saying this or that one way or another. But in terms of the last year or year and a half, you've been hearing a lot of misogynistic behavior coming from him, whether if it's him trying to fight women or talking down to them, because the actor, Mr. Jackson, did say that once a dude got into his face, wasn't showing the same level of anger or whatever he was towards the woman, which makes you wonder, does he have an inferiority complex where he only goes after people that are, kind of like a bully, talking down to people that are weaker than him, or being very misogynistic. Another girl actually claimed that she got physical. I don't know about the girl that you mentioned about posting that thing, but another girl claimed that she was sexually assaulted by him, where unfortunately she had to get some anal type of surgery to fix whatever it is that he did to her. So it seems like there's a bit of a pattern going on with Trey Songz right now, and it's unfortunate because for the last, he's been on the up and coming and been kind of like one of the most popular music performers of the last 5 years at the very least.
A lot of times these entertainers for years are able to get away with all types of foolishness and criminal activity, but eventually, see Trey Songz, he's going to be R. Kelly'd one of these days. That's what's going to happen to Trey Songz because we have far too many people trying to step forward. And what happens a lot of times when a person is a entertainer or a celebrity, they are covered. People will cover you as long as you have the money to keep their mouths shut. So they'll go along with the plan, the abuse, everything else that they see. They'll turn a blind eye. But the minute that money runs out, you see what happened to R. Kelly, Trey Songz, his day is coming because it's not that it's just one woman claiming this; it's several different people that are claiming this. There are guys coming out things about him, and everybody's not lying. So I feel like this Trey Songz, he's going to get what's coming to him, and if he's not doing it, he needs to stand up right now and say he's not doing it. But I don't know. I mean, of course, we both work in the world of entertainment, and we see what happens a lot of times when a celebrity is a celebrity. They have the yes men and women around them all the time. So I don't know, Trey Songz. Soon you might be singing right next to R. Kelly in prison because somebody is going to take him down.
Yeah, I mean, and also too, it seems like easy avoidable situations because like the article that you're referencing, it just starts off with him physically, talking down to a woman like he's about to fight her, which I was always told from a young age to keep my hands off of women, and I'm pretty sure he was told the same thing too, and there's a pattern of this, unfortunately, and just I like the guy's music, but unfortunately, just because I like his music or what sports he plays or what he did on camera doesn't necessarily talk about his real character as an individual or human being. And a lot of times, people being a fan, that can be very dangerous because to a degree, we expect celebrities and athletes to like us because we like them, but we forget at the end of the day, it's just that something that they're good at, their craft, they're getting paid for. So they're doing it from a business end, also maybe from a personal passion point of view, but nonetheless, that's something you have to remember as a fan and as somebody or as a fan that appreciates them is just because you like their music, their talent, their athletic ability, and they're good at it, doesn't mean they're a good person, which is unfortunate.
Absolutely. Hey, so we just had somebody join us here. Now, what is your name? Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Yes. What is your name? We saw you on camera just a few moments. What is your name, beautiful lady?
My name is Taya.
Hi, Taya. Thank you so much for joining us. So, you guys, these are some co-hosts for the day. Our guest co-host, that's Taya. And I can't see our other co-host, but she's Sharon. I believe that's Sharon on there. But anyway, thanks for joining in. So we're talking about Trey Songz. He has been accused by an insecure actor from the show Insecure of beating women. And we were talking about the fact that he's had other allegations against him that he has sexually assaulted women, etc. And we were just kind of going back and forth about it. Have you heard about any of that? Taya, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. The sound is going in and out.
I see. Have you heard anything about this situation with Trey Songz?
No, the only thing I heard was about he raped some girl in Las Vegas. I think that's the only thing I heard about him.
I see. Well, what's happening is an actor from the show Insecure, he also is accusing him for fighting women or trying to fight women. And so Trey Songz is just, I don't know, he's a whole hot mess. And, he's going to have his day in court. Somebody is going to take him down, and he definitely better watch his step. I was going to move on to the next topic. So Fox, if you guys don't know who Julia Fox is, she was a young lady that was spotted with Kanye ago. It was maybe about a month ago. She had on the really dark eye makeup, and she had this, I don't know what was going on, a jean at the time. Anyway, she showed up at the Oscars with an outfit on, and it literally looked like a hand around her neck choking her. It was a hand actually choking her. She had that on, and then she had a purse made out of human hair, which is not that odd. But I think she did it for attention. Yet when I saw the dress, I thought, is that a hand around her neck? That was the first thought that I had, and I was just like, okay, this lady is trying to get attention. Out with Kanye at one point, but then all of a sudden she just kind of said, "Oh, I don't want to talk about Kanye, but then she shows up at the Oscars. So I don't even, did anybody see this dress that this lady had on?
No, I didn't see it. Mm.
And then I saw it, but typically, well, she was in a relationship with Kanye West a few months ago. Models always do stuff for attention, and it's understandable because they're paid for their looks, their fashion, their creativity, and so they're always trying to, kind of outdo each other or out fashion one another, do something unique and different, kind of go where no one else has gone before. So it's not really surprising. And then given the fact that, she had mostly a brief relationship with Kanye West, you got to be a little crazy or at least a little odd to go out with him. So, yeah, for her to want attention, I would say, like, are you surprised? She's a model. Like, she wasn't getting attention. She wouldn't be getting paid.
But wasn't Kanye
Absolutely.
West
Well,
in charge of her wardrobe? Just like he was in charge of like dressing Kim Kardashian?
That's
That I
what
don't
I've heard.
know.
I've heard
So I wouldn't think that.
Yeah, I've heard that's his.
Yeah. So maybe it was just Kanye
I've
West's
heard.
idea of her dressing that way. I wouldn't say like attention, but maybe he wanted her to wear that or something.
But I didn't think they were still together. Are they still together?
Well,
No,
they're
I
not
don't
together
think so.
anymore.
Yeah. So.
But around that time, she said in the interview that after their date, they went to a hotel room and then she saw that Kanye had basically bought her whole wardrobe. So basically like 95% of the clothes she was wearing, it was from Kanye West.
Okay. I didn't hear that one. Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably true because Kanye West is big into fashion, and that's why he made some of his billions by, being, for a guy that declared bankruptcy, 6-7 years ago, to now be a billionaire. He got a lot of it from his fashion inspiration. And if anything, that's what kind of drew him to Kim Kardashian when they initially started dating, between her somewhat failed music career and him getting involved in fashion back when she was with Chris Humphrey.
But my thing is, who in the world was buying Kanye's clothes? I know his Yeezy sneakers were like real popular, but those clothes, have you guys seen those rags that he was? I thought, who bought those? Because I didn't. I didn't see anything that I thought was nice enough to wear anywhere. So I'm not really sure who's buying those clothes. But hey, with that lady though, she wasn't with Kanye, but he could have designed that. Who knows? That looks like some weird stuff that he'd come up with. Honestly, I like the dress. I like crazy, weird things. I'm that one that I would probably wear swan like Bjork did many, many years ago. I'd probably wear some foolishness like that. That's just me. And I kind of liked it. I don't like what she does with her eyes though. She wears this dark, weird makeup, and her eyes are always very red. Really, very odd. I don't know what else to say about that, but the Oscars was definitely a memorable thing this year. And I can't wait here. I don't know what else to say. I was going to comment on one last story here that I had with the movie. Remember the movie The Best Man? Morris Chestnut and many other actors and actresses in it. Apparently, they are coming up with I think it's a series. It says the Best Man Final Chapters. And I don't know whether it's going to be a series or what's happening with this, but I'm kind of excited because that movie, it was a legend movie. So I'm hoping that it's a series. Has anybody heard of this?
I definitely heard of the iconicness of it, but I never really got into it the same way that my roommate, how he loves it. But I am going to definitely watch the series when it comes out because I do like those actors and actresses, of course. But yeah, I never really got into it like the cult classic everybody else has because I heard good things about it. But I will be definitely checking out the series for sure.
Yeah, I was actually checking it out here, the actual story, and they did say it's going to be a spinoff on the Peacock network. So I'm going to guess it's definitely a series, and it should be interesting. I did like the movie, The Best Man. It was an absolutely beautiful movie. I don't know though. Sometimes when they have spinoffs of things, it's a little. We were talking last week about the Color Purple movie. By the way, they added Sierra to the Color Purple movie. And so I'm excited though. Beautiful. She's a great singer, great body, always. I don't know how she does it. How do you pop out that many kids and you still look good? I don't know. But they added her to the color purple. Excited, and it's a little of everybody from Fantasia to is Taraji. Was she also in the color purple? I don't know why I feel like Taraji is in it. But has anyone else seen the cast of the color purple? The new color purple that's going to be coming out?
Mm,
I'm not quite sure. I mean, I don't remember the actual more updated cast list from it though. So no, I
See.
wouldn't be able to give you the answer, unfortunately.
Well, definitely Fantasia is in it and Sierra is in it, which I'm super excited. And I forgot who else is in the movie, that's going to be in this new movie. I believe it's going to be Oprah is definitely going to be in the wings, helping them out, etc. Oh yes, we were talking about Danielle from Orange Is the New Black. She's actually playing Sophia. So it's a lot of celebrities that are going to be in this movie, and I'm super excited. But like we were saying last week, I'm hoping that it doesn't flop like Coming to America Part Two. I really am not crazy about remakes because it's usually always disappointing. Because if you know about the old movie when the new one comes out, it always seems to be a problem. Same thing with a Black Panther. What am I saying? Oh my gosh, Black Panther. So Black Panther 2. Like we said last week, Angela Bassett said that Black Panther 2 is going to be way better than Black Panther 1. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen with all these spin-offs and all of these part twos and everything else. Somebody needs to bring it because I'm sorry. Like I said last week, Coming to America, to me, it fell flat on its face. If they didn't have Tiana Taylor in there, that movie would have just tanked altogether. I wasn't a fan. They had the bits, they had the fairy tale, but to me, it just seemed like a hangout for a bunch of celebrities. All you saw was celebrities standing around and schmoozing with one another, but nothing actually going on. So, you know, that was it. So, you know what, Kim? I am going to say this. I don't have any more news stories. I think we've run out of stories here, unfortunately. So I guess we're going to have to call it a night, Kim. So, you know what? So you're going to be shooting your movie here in Florida. So with this movie, are you going to be looking for extras or any extra talent?
Definitely open to
Anything like
both of
that?
those. At the very, I definitely going to need some extras, and as well as some extra talent. The script's already written, but I probably will put in a few cool scenes, and if you're able to come on set for a day or two or whenever, like I said, hang out, and I'll probably try to find a creative way to at least get you in one way or another, at the very least. And I definitely appreciate, if you were able to come out. Obviously, I know you're a busy girl working hard and working on some of your fabulous film projects too. And of course, I know it's not an easy thing to do. And like I said, and I appreciate you setting me up so I can advertise my movie. It's going to be called Beach Chain. It's going to be great working with the great crew of actors, a couple directors, and like I said, Nicole Hoops is the leading lady in it, so I'm pretty pumped about that. And as well. So, and Alicia, like I said, if you hey, we'll talk to you later about it because, like I said, definitely extras, and I can definitely probably get you a couple line parts too. Yeah, unfortunately, if I had more time, I could probably come up with a really good part for you. But yeah, right now we're just in the home stretch organizing everything because we're about to start filming in 3 weeks.
Absolutely. Well, let people know how they can reach you if they happen to be in the Tampa and the dates and everything, so they know how to reach out to you if they want to be an extra in your movie.
Okay. We're on Instagram, Beach Chain the Movie, as well as on Facebook, and then the website beachchainthemovie.com, or go to Rise Celesto Studios. That's another way too. Or hit me up on Instagram at Kung Fu Cam. Feel free to send me a DM. I can definitely talk to you all about that as well. And yeah, no, I'm pretty pumped about it.
Well, definitely, if you have a casting call, an actual casting call that you can send over to me, send it to me because I do know several producers and actors that will check you out. Anyway, I am going to say good night to everybody, and thank you guys. Thank you, my co-host and Cam, and we will see you guys again. Same time,
See ya,
same
Sharon.
place.
Good job tonight.
Thank you. Good night,
Good night.
everybody.
Thank you, Alicia.
Okay.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can keep up with us.